Join us, join us, join us. We've got a big presentation today. So, we're here to discuss the books we've read this month and whether we believe you
should read them or not.
Yeah, basically if you should read them.
Yeah, and we've made a cute little presentation for everybody to see all of the books. Because I didn't have every physical book.
Right. We want to give you a little visual on everything, our thoughts. Maybe if you want to read the books, it'll give you a little information. So this is our January reading wrap-up, presented by your hosts, Emma
and Lily.
There we go.
I hate saying my name. Here's our reading data. So we didn't really go out of our genres this month, but you know. So we have fantasy, romance books, fiction, and then the orange one is total number of books. So we just try to color coordinate it. So Emma, she read 5 books that are
fantasy or fantasy romance.
And then she read 9 romance books. And then she read 1 fiction book.
Horror book. I'm going to put it in fiction.
And that's a total of 15 books this month. So mine, I read 0 fantasy books. I read 11 romance books. And then 1 fiction. So that's a total of 12 for that math.
Perfect.
Yay. So let's get into it, girls. So the first book I read this month was Binding 13. This is a hunker of a book too. It's like 500 pages or something. I don't know. But here's some little bullet points we put for it. It is a traumatic love story. You know, there is abuse and stuff in these books. Not between the 2 main characters, but you know, the whole family. And then it's in the YA section of Barnes & Noble. I don't think it's YA personally. I think it has very descriptive. They are in high school, so it's set in high school. So I guess that could be YA, but they talk about pretty crazy stuff. And the main guy plays rugby, so if you guys care about like the sports aspect of it. My favorite moment, I don't know, I just like seeing Johnny and Shannon bond. Like, they were a fun vibe.
Okay.
I don't know, I like them.
What's a con about the book that brought it down in rating, maybe?
I just don't remember a whole lot from this book. I've read many books this month, and I'm shook. So, I just remember me liking it.
It was just fun.
I was reading it from December till January or something. So a couple weeks.
Any final thoughts about the book?
I don't know, I don't know if it's overhyped. I feel like for me, it was just hyped. It was fine. I did want to read the second one. So if that tells you anything, I don't know. I liked it enough. I rated it 3 stars. My first book of the month was Rebecca Ross's Ruthless Vows. And this book is the second book in the series, so I don't want to give away too much. But basically the premise of the story is a quest to win a war. And you have the 2 main love interests. They are no longer in the same area. They're fighting time and people to get back to one another, basically. And it's a YA romantasy story. A favorite book of moment from this book would have to be probably, there's like a scene in a house where the main girl and the main guy kind of see each other again, and I think that was my favorite moment from the book. A con to this book, I would just say overall the story was slow. I felt like a lot of things weren't happening but were, and the things that were happening in the book just felt slow, and I felt like Divine Rivals was kind of like constantly up all the way to the end, and it was always moving at a good pace, and this one was just a slow pace, and it wasn't for me. So 3 stars, like, it was fine, you know? The next book I read was Heartstopper! Oh my god, let me tell you what. I love the show. I just love Nick and Charlie so much. I'm so excited for season 3.
It's like all she talks about.
I'm so excited for season 3. I keep getting all the updates on it, you know, on TikTok. But it's like a gay romance between 2, I don't know what grade they're in.
High school?
Year 10 and whatever.
They're high schoolers.
Yeah. They're so cute. Okay. Yeah, they're trying to navigate the relationship, you know, with him not knowing if he's bisexual or not. And Charlie having already gone through all the bullying. Anyway, and it's a YA romance. It's very cute and fluffy, and it's a comic, so.
Right.
And I gave it 5 stars because I love the show, and it literally follows every single scene Alice Oseman puts in her comics. And for that, it's so cute. I love Heartstopper.
Do you have a favorite moment?
When he's like, "Oh, you got a haircut. You look It looks nice. But he's trying not to say he likes it.
Is there any cons to this book?
No.
Okay. So
no, it's perfect.
It's just
perfect.
5 stars all around.
Yeah.
Okay. My next book was the Soulmate Equation. Fun. This book is out of my comfort zone and like the mom trope. Yeah, the single mom trope. I don't normally read those. I'm not normally the biggest fan. But I love this. I ate this up. This is borderline 5-star. There's just something a little off about it, you know. I think it was their like little conflict at the end that kind of threw me. But overall, the whole book, love. And I love scientist stories now. Like they're the best.
Thank you, Allie.
Thank you, Allie Hazelwood. I'm really into that. I know some people aren't, but I am.
Yeah.
I'm really not into Grumpy Sunshine, but for some reason this book it kind of worked. You know, like his grumpiness was valid, but some of it wasn't. So a favorite moment of mine from this book would be, I don't even know, just all of their bonding moments. They write really good bonding moments. I think so. You know, like just how people fall in love easily. I love that. A con would be probably their 3rd act breakup. I hated that. I hated the miscommunication. So that's probably why it's knocked down a little bit. So I would give it like a 4.5. I highly recommend, especially if you're a fan of Allie Hazelwood books.
My next book was, Heartstopper 2, because I was like, Emma, I'm going to kick. I have to read it. And those are the only 2 I had at the time. I've since bought the rest. But it's obviously the same thing they're going through. This is like still, this is like part 2 of season 1. The 3rd volume is their Paris trip, so season 2. But this is so cute. I love it. I'll eat these up every single time. But there's nothing else to really say about it. I feel like it's pretty similar to the first because it's leading right behind it. But YA, you know.
What's your favorite moment from this?
No. Okay. Yeah, it's boring. They're just cute. Okay. They're so cute.
Okay, my next book was The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy. And I was so shook by this book. I did not even know if I was going to like it. I never even heard...
Look, that's so cute.
Anyone talk about it.
It's like
them. Yeah.
Cute.
I really like that cover. I saw it at Barnes & Noble today and I've never seen it in person. So I was like, okay, maybe it's doing well. So, yes, it's about like an undertaker, a person that deals with dead bodies, and it's set in this fantasy world where she has to do special things to them. It's not like a normal...
Rituals, right?
Yeah, she kind of does... No, that's from the other one. She doesn't do rituals. She does do something to them like that. She like handcrafts boats for them and like the boats take them to the other side kind of thing like that. Really cool. I love that aspect. And he's a marshal. So whenever he kills stuff and has to bring in a dead body, unidentified, everybody has to have a funeral package through these undertakers. So whatever the body says, that's where he has to go. And they don't like each other. They got off on the wrong foot many, many years ago. And so strictly enemies to lovers. But they begin writing letters to like, because they're lonely, you know, out in the universe. And somehow these letters get to each other, like through the mail. I don't know why it picked them to, but they have no idea for something so
with the
long.
Birds. You know, they got them missed.
Funny enough, a bird is one of the people that delivered. And then the other guy is a different animal. It's like a weird world. I liked it. It was really quirky, cute. And I don't know. I really liked this book. 4 stars. It was great. I don't know what my favorite moment from it was. I also liked that there was a lot of side characters. And like her brother, he's a gay guy and he ends up dating, like the marshal guy in this book has an what's it called? Like a sidekick he has to take under his wing, a younger guy. And when they go there one day, her brother and him meet, and so they start dating, which means that they kind of have to be around each other all the time, and they just don't like each other.
That's cute.
But it's really cute. I liked it a lot. So maybe that's my favorite moment, like the dinners and stuff that they had to have around each other. Very cute. 4 stars.
The next book I read, Dating Under the Six, because I was trying to complete our January TBR. I read this till 22% or something. I DNF'd. I was a little bored. You know, maybe I'll pick it up later. I don't know. I just got bored. Sorry. I'm pretty sure it's like a fiction. This is my only fiction. Taylor Jenkins Reid writes fiction, like literary fiction. So, I know it's like love triangle, forbidden love, cheating trope I want to say, but I won't say. But, yeah. I just didn't, it was just boring to me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, it was boring me. And I was like, I have other books I can read that I'll like now. You know?
Right.
So,
I understand.
No rating.
My next book was Out on a Limb. We both read this book. So, Lily, I'll let you go first. Why did you give it 4 stars?
I don't know. It wasn't 5-star feeling.
Okay.
My 5 stars, I'm like, I don't have that many, clearly.
Not really.
I'm very picky about my 5 stars. This just
too.
wasn't 5-star material to me. But I did like it. I thought it was very cute. I really like Bo, green flag.
Right.
He's a green flag guy.
I gave it 5 star. I gave it 4.5 at first, but I kept talking about it and comparing every book I read after. Like, I wanted the men to be just like Bo in my books. So that to me just makes me think this is a 5-star read. If that's all I can think about, especially when I'm comparing and when I'm watching shows, I want them to be like Bo. So 5-star read. If you're not into the pregnancy trope, give this a try, seriously, because it kind of changed my viewpoint on it. I'm just saying. Did it change your viewpoint?
No.
Oh, she still hates it, so.
I don't hate it as much. Yeah, I guess it did then. I don't...
Because I feel like this was done so
well.
well.
I don't hate it. I'm like, oh, they have a kid.
Like...
Or they're having a kid.
I went into this blind, I didn't know it was a pregnancy trope.
Yeah. It's one night stand, you know, leads to pregnancy, and they're like, oh, we should
and that
have
just
this
sounds
kid
like
together.
the worst book to me until you read it.
Yeah. Some things you just have
Blew me out of the way.
have to give a leap of faith.
Exactly.
But I didn't hate it.
Right.
I thought it was cute. Their relationship's really cute. The next romance, mine. Romancing Mr. Bridgerton. I'm excited about the show. I gave this a 3-star because it hadn't been, maybe that's why. It had been a long time since I read the other half. So I put it down, but then I picked it up for our 12-hour reading vlog. And I was like, I'm going to try to finish this in this video. And I don't know, the ending was just like, okay. Okay, whatever. It was fine. Whatever. It's like the Regency time. If you've seen the show, you know. They're friends to lovers, and I love that. I eat that up every single time.
Did you have a favorite moment?
The carriage scene, yeah. That was like iconic.
Okay.
And everybody's like, oh my god, the carriage scene. And I'm like, okay, it ate. And Nicola keeps talking about that. She's like, oh, the carriage scene, we broke the carriage. I was like, okay, girl, let me read it.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't hate it. I genuinely think Shonda Rhimes put something in that pot where she makes it so much better in the show. Or not even just her, it's the writers and directors, everybody who goes into it. I think the show will always just be 10 times, 1,000 times better. And they were written a long time ago.
They were.
So now it's not as like, oh, you know. But yeah, it's interconnected standalones with the other Bridgerton books. But I didn't dislike it. It was 3-star. I feel like all of these I've given 3-star. Like The Duke and I, by count, and this one I've all given 3-star.
It's just not giving.
But the show is like 5. I'm like,
yeah.
You know? So, that's my opinion.
My next book was Done and Dusted. Okay, so if you've read Elsie Silver books, you'll know cowboy romance, small town, everybody knows everybody, kind of that vibe. This felt like a copy of it in a way, where like she's the rider, like you know how he's a bull rider in the first book? She's like a horse rider, she does show horses, has to come home because of an injury, ends up meeting the guy at the bar, you know, and she's known him all her life because that's her brother's best friend. And I think what I didn't like about this is that the brother was overly possessive of his sister.
Like Anthony?
But worse. Like, we'll beat you up if you touch it. Like, it was just giving, like, toxic relationship kind of boyfriend. You're her brother who's grown and has a kid. Like, why do you get... And she's in her 20s. Like, I don't understand. And the main guy was nice and all, but I think he started calling her a nickname I didn't like Princess or Sugar. Maybe it was Sugar. Was it Sugar? Or is that Elsie Silver? Elsie Silver. I think he said Sugar. I think he said Sugar over and over and over in every kind of scene you can imagine. And it really got to me, and that's why I didn't like it so much. Elsie Silver, you do it better. You're not the best, but you do it better than this.
Bearable.
It's more bearable than this was. I do like small town vibes, and I do like the cowboy romances.
Not this vibe.
But this one was just mediocre for me, and I struggled to push through to the end, kind of thing.
I hear him chewing on something.
So it's not 1-star material, but it was definitely a 2. I couldn't honestly give it a 3.
Do it.
So that's why.
The next book I read,
Butcher and Blackbird.
Just me and Emma both read this in our 12-hour
reading vlog.
12-hour reading vlog. And I rated it 3-star. Emma rated it 4.
4.5.
I think I'd give it like a 3.5.
I give it a 4.5.
It's dark romance. It's serial killers that fall for each other. It's very funny, I would say. That's what keeps you through it.
Yeah, so I didn't think I'd ever read this, but we just kind of were delirious in our 12-hour reading vlog.
We were like, why not?
What would keep me awake? Something like this. So what we decided to do is both read this at the same time, read it to
Buddy
each other.
So we could say it.
In this book, I went into it thinking it was going to be so scary, dark, like they were going to be nasty. And it wasn't.
It was funny.
It was better than most romance books I've even read this year. Like their relationship bonding and love that they felt for each other for so long. It's kind of a slow burn.
It was.
It was genuinely a slow burn.
What was it, like 70%?
At least, yeah. And then there's
They didn't get together until we woke up the next morning, I thought.
Right. We were like, well, there it is, you know?
But I liked it.
So, yeah. It was bordering on 5 stars until the end. Some of the stuff at the end, I was like, okay. Not really my vibe, but loved it. It was really good.
My favorite moment was the accidental cannibalism.
That was your favorite?
I don't know, actually. I was just thinking that was so funny.
I don't know. That was
hilarious. Or like the ice cream. That was so funny.
That was all the same moment.
I know.
That whole scene at the house.
That chapter was funny.
That was rough.
I feel like any of it, all of it was my favorite.
That was rough. That's what knocked it down for me, was the ending, like the third act breakup.
Yeah,
the third act breakup
was, but I do want to read the next one. Because Lachlan and
her
friend, they seem fun and a vibe.
They do.
So. And his next book
was Behind the Net, and I DNF'd this book. I don't know why I thought I'd like it. People were really into the hockey romance, and I didn't like Powerless by Elsie Silver. I don't know if I've read any other hockey romances, but this was just grumpy sunshine, but borderline bullying, and I hate bullying.
Except for
but I am still curious, what's the lore between these two in high school? Because I can't push myself to read it. So if anybody can let me know what happened. I truly wish I could have liked this book, but he called her Songbird at one point. And I said, Lily, I can't do it.
This is the one that...
Something about it, they were crazy.
He was like, give me names now.
Yeah, he went so hard. He went from not speaking to her to like 100% being like, I'll kill for you all of a sudden. You've barely spoken to me, dog. Like,
what's up?
I can't with this. And then calling her Songbird, ugh. So, yeah, DNF'd on that. About 22%, 23, I don't know.
Where she picks my reads for the month, for 2 weeks, whatever. And she chose Heartless, of course, for me, because she wanted me to read some Chestnut Springs, get me back into it, and I said, okay. So I read Heartless. It's cowboy romance, as you know. Grumpy sunshine, age gap, the single dad. He has the kid. God. I'm just kidding. The kid wasn't that bad in this. Now I was shook because I hate kids. But Heartless was the vibe. Daddy Kid was just there and he gave, but I didn't like the sex talk. What are we doing? But I digress. Some people like that, and it's just not for me. That's what knocked it down for me. And the ending, I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
It gives me the ick. It gives me the ick.
Elsie Silver really struggles with third act breakups.
I never liked them. And it's like, she's like,
she just throws something in that's random. It's not something that's being built up.
Yeah.
It's just, boom, here's some conflict all of a sudden.
But whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. I still liked it enough.
Yeah.
I thought Kate and Willow are that girl. You know, it's like Luke and Lorelai. If you like them, you'll like this.
Do you have a favorite moment?
I can hardly remember it.
Got it.
Like, I remember when they threw the iceberg lettuce.
What about when they were running through the field and stuff and he grabs her, chases her? I kind of liked that. Or when she pushes the kid in the pool.
Oh yeah, when she pushes the kid in the pool for being mean to Luke. It was so funny. She was so girl boss.
She's so girl boss.
It was so funny.
Yeah.
But, yeah. A con to this is, kids.
Yeah.
So anyway.
My next book was...
Oh, shoot!
Vampires del Norte. This book bored the out of me. It was just... Oh my god, it dragged on and on and on.
It was giving Zayden, right? And Violet?
Yeah. Like, the miscommunication. Homegirl, he thought you were dead. How is it not a good enough excuse to not seeing you for so long?
She said, I don't care.
It's set into the 1800s Mexico. He's been across the desert for 9 years. He comes back, you're alive, he wants to speak to you, and you're like, no, you left me when we were kids. I thought you were dead. What do you mean? So, dead. For the whole book, that to be the drama between the two people irked me. And he was so apologetic and really did, you know what I mean? Like,
he did the damn thing.
He was a great guy, always helping her out. The whole vampire thing is weird in this book. I don't know if I liked that. Yeah, I don't know. My favorite moment of the book is when they first see each other again in the beginning. I was like,
That's it.
stuff's about to go down, but then it didn't. So, con to this would be it's really slow, hardly any dialogue. I mean, pages and pages and pages of just descriptions of things, and I need dialogue to stay involved in a book. I was showing Lil, I'm like, look, 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 no dialogue. So that really irks me. So yeah, 2 stars. I struggled.
The next book I read was Powerless because I was on my Chestnut Springs kick. I was like, I'm just going to finish the whole series. Why not? You know, because I'm already here. So I read Powerless. It's a 3-star for me. I just did not love it. Again, the sex stuff, or not even sex stuff, I just didn't like them.
Yeah, that too.
They weren't very likable characters to me. Like, I could deal with the sex, talking and stuff, but I'm just not into the dom men, and it's like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that in our real life? But I digress. I love Friends to Lovers too, and this just didn't eat the way it wanted to. And I know it was trying, but
what's your favorite moment from this book? Because I know mine.
When he helps her leave the wedding, like when he's carrying her out. I thought that was so sweet.
My favorite moment is Harvey being like, "I'm not the one fucking my cousin. You're gonna have a kid with a tail on it. She's not my real cousin." Oh, yeah, okay, like. Whatever you say, man.
Yeah.
You grew up with her. That's my favorite moment.
Yeah. I do love that he's loved her since he was a kid. But then it turns like real quick. But I didn't dislike this book. I just thought it was mediocre. It was fine.
Right.
But yeah, it's part of, you know, the Chestnut Springs, their childhood Friends to Lovers, hockey, even though the hockey and ballet wasn't a big part. Whatever. I thought it was fine.
For my next book, I read another DNF, The Bodyguard. No. The fourth wall breaks. The fourth wall breaks. Being like,
look, her legs
I bet you're wondering how we got there. Well, here, let me tell you really quick.
Was it like Fleabag?
And now, no. Oh. And now, back to the regularly scheduled program. Here's what's going on. Felt odd. Very, very odd. She's the bodyguard in this case. She shows up to the guy's house. He's really dismissive of her at first.
Why?
Because he was like, I told my team I didn't want a bodyguard. I'm here to be private. You know, my mom's got cancer. He's like a movie star, like, think Yellowstone, okay? So she gets there and she's like, no, it's really me. He's like, I don't believe you.
Stop being mean.
So he makes her go out in the yard and like tackle him down or flip him over her shoulder or something. She does that and he's like, wow. And then she leaves and he shows up at her work the next day and she's about to punch her ex-boyfriend at work and he's like,
what?
And then he's there and he's like, hey girl, like, can you come be my fake girlfriend or come be with me for this event? And I'm like, wait, you just met, I don't want to read it. I just don't, too much is happening in the first 20% that I'm not interested in. And I think that the main girl that's like the narrator of the story, I didn't like her vibe. I didn't really like her narration style. DNF. It might be for some people, it's not for me, so.
Oh, the next book I read was Reckless by Miss Elsie Saylor. It's cowboy romance with a pregnancy trope in it, you know. I really like Theo and Winter. I think they're the most likable characters in the whole series, to me. Other than Summer and Red, because I like Summer a lot. She's a queen.
Tell me why Summer's the best.
And Red's
every books, except for their own.
Why'd you do that? Anyway.
Elsie.
Can we talk? Please.
Literally. Anyway.
But I really do like Theo and Winter. I think they're really cute. And their bonding moments were cute.
Really
And
cute.
they were such a vibe. But my favorite moment is what happened. I have book amnesia. I'm sorry.
The beginning when they first meet and start yelling at each other.
Oh my god, yeah. His dog is so cute. How he sits between his legs. And then he started doing it to Winter. She's like, no, it's my dog now. Or it's your dog, but like, yeah, he loves to be with me. Like,
I like when Theo takes over her, like, working out session or something. He shows up and he's like, no, I'm
that
done.
was annoying.
I laugh.
That was so
giggle. I was like,
jealousy.
okay, stop.
Yeah. This book,
No,
these
it's
books,
like, I love this book.
These books are just a fun time.
They
if
are.
you're looking for, like...
They're not great literature, but they're a fun time.
Yeah. I'm here for the fun, not the literature. But I did give it a 4-star. So, these people are more likable than...
All of them?
All of them. Yeah. So.
Ooh, my next book was From Blood and Ash.
Why are we singing it?
I do not know. From Blood and Ash. What's the saying? Curiosity killed the cat. Me. I was so curious about this book because I've read many romantasy books that are very popular, and this is the one I hadn't touched. And I know it has very like opposing, you know, like polar opposite opinions. I had to get my teeth sunk into this, literally, because this is kind of, you know. Anyway, it was fine. It's like a 3.5. Like I said in another video, I am not going to pursue the rest of this series because of stuff I learned about it. I didn't find the first book to be that engaging. I think it needed to end a little bit sooner than it did. It does enemies to lovers really well, honestly, if you think about their stuff. I liked the bodyguard romance aspect of this book, and I actually really liked Poppy. I didn't think I would. With a name like Poppy, being an 18-year-old girl and being like the Virgin Mary maiden person, it really worked for this story. I thought it was going to be so cringy, but it wasn't. But other than that, it was just kind of slow. We were doing the same stuff every day, and then the big, I guessed already, and then I kind of spoiled something for myself like immediately when I looked up something in the beginning. I was like, who is this person? Oh crap. Spoiled that for myself.
What's your favorite moment?
Ooh, my favorite moment, there's a lot.
Really?
There's a lot of like, I can visualize those scenes in my head, but there's a thing in this book where the, what's it called, the Duke of this area, she's always getting lessons from the Duke, and he beats her basically.
Oh, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, when that guy dies, like that whole thing, yeah, that was like one of my favorite moments, honestly. I liked all the banter that her and Hawk had in this book. Hawk and her, they were cute. They're so cute. The way it ended was not my favorite though.
Okay. My next book is
Shocker.
Is Hopeless. If anybody could guess, it's Hopeless by Miss Elsie Silver. Once again, I was like, I'm gonna finish the series, and I did.
Tell them that you thought this was gonna be your favorite book.
I literally thought that for the longest time in the beginning. I was loving Bo. I loved Bo. I liked his trauma, like how it was written and everything, and I thought it was fun to learn about Bailey, you know, the girl from town. Ooh, you know, ooh, girl across the pond, you know. And I was so excited, but then it just turned. Every time it turns bad when it goes to the sexual things. I just get the ick, and I'm like,
right.
But I still like the kid in the third act breakup. But I still like the couple.
Theirs might be the worst of them all.
But I didn't hate this book. I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
It's mediocre.
3 is such an okay rating.
Yeah. But their age gap was annoying in it. Because she kept saying it. And I was like, oh, girl, let's get a grip. Let's get a grip. Exactly. It's not that crazy. Willow and Kate had the same age gap. But you didn't say it like this. Whatever. 3-star for me. My favorite moment was, like, Bo. He's such a sweet guy. He would do all the acts of service for her.
Just for her to be like, he doesn't really like me.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
girl.
I loved Bo. I think he's a good guy.
Yes.
He's probably one of my favorite of the men in it. I really like him as a boyfriend. Like, out of all of them for me to date for myself, I choose him probably.
Okay.
Who would you choose?
Theo.
Oh, yeah, or him.
Or Daddy Cade.
Oh.
Next book I read was The Things We Leave Unfinished. Boring. Boo. Boo. I'm bored. This was so boring. I don't know how else to put it. If you want to be so throughout a book, read this. If you want a mediocre love story, read this. It was just so blah. And I don't know.
What's your favorite moment though? But you rated it 2-star.
2-star means I struggled to finish this. This could be borderline 1-star. But she put the effort into this book, and I'm going to put the effort into this review real quick. There's not a lot to say other than I was just so bored. Their love was just mediocre. I honestly liked that the main guy respected her boundaries. He really wanted to bond with her in the now time, and he would take her rock climbing, and she was not comfortable, and he basically said, okay, like, we don't have to do it. And they went back another time, and she trusted him more. And I don't know, I kind of liked the building blocks of their trust. But that was really it. The past stuff was more interesting, I guess you could say. But then, I don't know, I didn't even like the cliffhanger ending. Like, not a cliffhanger, but the twist ending, you know? That was just not for me. So, 2 stars. The next book I read was What Hurts Us, because I needed another book to read while Lily was finishing up the Chestnut Spring series. So I read this, and it's such a cute little small town romance. I love the fake dating trope in this. They actually do it right, where you go out a lot in public to be seen. The small town knows you. You have like the kind of neighbors, think Gilmore Girls level small town, where literally people see you walk on the street and you got the old ladies that are already talking about you and know about you. I love it. And I kind of like the Scrubs aspect. Her job was being an airlift nurse person. She had fun co-workers, and then he had a fun life, and she had fun siblings. I really liked it. I didn't really care for the epilogue ending, and I think that's why I knocked it out. But 4 stars, it was just a fun time. Loved it. The next book I read was Curse of the Wolf King. Lily chose this for me to read, also while she's finishing up reading books. And I didn't think I'd like it, but I really did. It has a terrible rating, and this is the only time I've been proven wrong where my rating's better than the average rating on Goodreads. That's shocking. This is true. Like, this is verbatim full, like, Beauty and the Beast. It follows that story almost to a T, with incorporating fae-like people just like Akatar. But it does it really cute. And I thought the main wolf guy was hilarious. And I loved him. He was just a pouty, fun little king. And I loved him. And now I'm reading... Oh no, I read this novella. The Exception to the Rule. So cute. I wish this was a full story book. Not a novella, but it wasn't, so whatever. It was so good. Borderline 5 stars for me, but like I said before, I don't think I'm going to give novellas 5 stars ever, because they're just too short. Less than 100 pages. It's not something I'm going to think about forever. It's not the most amazing written thing, but I loved it so much. I was giggling. And then, last but not least, I'm currently reading Heart of the Raven Prince. About to finish it like right now, like only a few pages left. And so I can thoroughly give this review. I'm going to give it a 3.5 star. It's not as good as Curse for the Wolf King, or The Wolf King, but it is a Cinderella retelling. I don't know if it's just I don't like Cinderella as much. I like the main guy. He gives recent energy. He can turn into a raven and like have wings and stuff. Yeah, but he's also like has shadow powers and things like that. Like, he's really cool for a prince. I like their bonding, but I don't know how it's gonna end, but I have a feeling I know what's about to happen at the end. So I'm not gonna give it 4 stars for that reason. But I think that's it. Yeah. My favorite part of this book is whenever the prince figures out that she's wearing a glamour of some sort, and he's like, so, tell me who you are. And it's like, oh snap, what's about to happen, and then stuff happens. And that's probably my favorite scene from this book. Really good. Yeah, it was a good month.
Yeah. Whenever you're depressed in January, you know, and you just don't want to do anything, read.
That's all you gotta do, girls.
Cures the January blues. So, yeah. But thank you for watching today's video.
Like, comment, subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Bye!